what we want to share here is how an Etsy seller who is doing over $100,000 per month, doing everything that Etsy says it wants you to do. And I'm talking about not even print on demand. I'm talking handmade, hand sewn. And I say handmade, it was still done on a machine, but he owned the machine. And you may have already heard what happened to this Etsy shop owner. But Chris and I wanted to share the video, do a little reaction to it, but also allow this to see the light of day and hopefully get more attention. So this way here, we can help you and any other sellers prevent this from happening, because there was something that happened here that he shared that we all can learn from. Now, Etsy should also learn from it as well. And hopefully they'll be able to see this video or even his original video. So I'm going to go ahead and share that now. I'm going to go ahead and start it from the beginning, but I am going to skip around. I actually already watched it and I'm going to skip to the parts that are really important. But if you do want to watch the full video, it's a little over 10 minutes. We'll link that up in the description as well. All right. So let's go ahead and listen in.
So I'm a top seller on Etsy and all of my accounts are suspended. I went from making 60,000 to our record being 100,000 in sales per month to absolute zero. And in this video, I want to explain what happened. It is not an easy thing to deal with because, like I said, being a top seller to now having nothing, it's pretty dramatic. And I want to explain what happened so it doesn't happen to you, and it has something to do with $7, which is the most frustrating thing. And it takes about 1 to 2 weeks to get that resolved, and I'm still locked out of my accounts. And it's during the most juiciest time of the year. Like, we rely on Q4, and it pretty much stole our whole holiday rush in one day. Like, it's just gone. Before I explain what happened, the context in which that happened is the most unfortunate. Like, it could not be at a worse time. Now, not despite even the holiday season, which we rely on heavily, like any business relies on Q4. That same week, and I normally don't share about my personal family life.
So, okay, he's going to go into some personal stuff here. And I'm going to, again, if you want to listen to that, he talks about his family. He's got a daughter that has special needs, and like there's a lot that it would really, really bring someone down to. I mean, I'm surprised he has such a great attitude. And I know that he's trying to be strong, but man, oh man, like there's just, you can't even imagine yourself right now, number one, being suspended and locked out of your account and generating upwards of $100,000 per month. And then all of a sudden it gets just taken away and you're suspended. And here's the thing. Again, he mentioned $7, and this $7 is a critical piece. And I'd be curious right now, if you've seen this video and you know what that $7 is, drop it in the comments. I want to know if you already watched this video. All right. But it's really, really important because that $7 could have been prevented. But the other crazy thing is Etsy, suspended him and also lost Q4. Remember Q4, let's say he was doing $100,000 per month. They lost $100,000, or who knows, if they shut him down for the entire year, they could lose $1 million. But if they just would have reached out to him, they would have had this fixed in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. If all they did was picked up the phone and said, "Hey, top seller, we know that you're doing $100,000 a month. You're doing $1 million a year. What happened? What about this $7? And then he could have said, "Oh yeah, I'll take care of that." And then you take care of it and boom, you're back up in business. But no. And that's why we did a video recently to try to reach Josh Silverman of Etsy. I'm going to link that up in the description. Make sure that you watch that. Make sure that you like it. Make sure that you comment on that video. It's directly for people like him, that got suspended and lost out on Q4 sales and their livelihood. Let's keep going here. I'm going to skip ahead to the 5-minute mark because that's when he starts talking about what actually happened. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go to about right here and we'll let it start right here.
I try to figure out what's going on. I'm just hearing billing everywhere, billing, billing, billing. I didn't see an email that says permanently suspended, which gave me some hope. Oops. So I tried to figure out what was going on. I obviously appealed on all of my Etsy shops. I appealed it because all of them were suspended. Big nasty red saying, "Hey, you're suspended." So I appealed all of them. Nobody was answering. Obviously, it says the automatic message after that says 1 to 2 weeks. I'm like, this is the holiday season. I can't wait 2 weeks. So I tried to message them. I couldn't find the little bubble, the chat bubble. And people say, well, it's because you don't, it's a star seller badge. Well, some of the Etsy shops that we do have didn't have it, and vice versa. I went to my parents' house on an Etsy shop. They didn't have a star seller and they did have chat bubble. So anyways, I went to their house to start doing chat bubble. Initially, I thought it was a real person. I thought that was the perks of that chat bubble, but it's an AI. It sounded very natural. And obviously with the AI technology, it sounded very natural. And it was able to let me know that there was an outstanding balance. Now I'm looking on all my Etsy shops and I don't see any outstanding balance. You know, usually when you start selling on Etsy, if you don't have enough money that you didn't make sales, but you did spend advertisement or there were fees, it'll charge your card that's on file. And I couldn't find that on any of my shops. And then I'm like, wait, I had an Etsy shop I created a long time ago. It was a cat collar store. Since I made dog collars, I'm like, hey, why don't I use the same equipment to make cat collars and have a whole separate store for that? Now I closed that store down because that equipment that I had at that time made the collars too heavy, and so people were complaining. So I decided to close that shop down because I don't want to send out bad product. And I forgot about it. It was like 2 years ago. I opened up that shop, and there was a balance of $7 that wasn't paid for God knows how long, and so I paid the balance. That was what basically caused the cascade of any name connected to this account. Any other accounts that is connected to this name will be suspended because I violated their policy of not paying the bill of $7. So for $7, we robbed our whole holiday season. So what you can do, actually, if you want to see if you have any balance on the account, is you pretend like you're about to close the Etsy shop. You go on options, you go on close your shop, and it'll say, wait, you have this balance. And check for any other Etsy shops that you have opened in the past. Because my friend, when I told him this, and he had like 30 employees, he did find an Etsy shop that did have an outstanding balance. The only reason that didn't happen to them is because that Etsy shop had a different name. Like it wasn't under their business name. It was, I believe it was under his personal name, which kind of kept that isolated. So if Etsy is seeing this, by the way, like and share this video. You could just go on and just share and then copy link. You don't have to.
Okay, Chris. I think we've heard enough. And I just want to say to Vlad, I hope I'm saying his name properly. Number one, I'd like to get Vlad on and we can dig deeper into this. So hopefully we can bring more awareness. And that's what we're doing right now is we're trying to bring awareness to his video, and his story, because it's unfortunate and it needs to be heard. And I'm like, what the heck? How does Etsy not see this as a big problem? If I was on Etsy's board and I heard this, I saw this video and I'm like, who's in charge of support and our top sellers? Who's in charge of them? Because you just cost the company $100,000 for 1 month and maybe $1 million. Who's in charge? That person should be fired. Okay. Because that person cost Etsy a lot of money and a lot of grief for this person, this legit business. All right. So the big takeaway here is right now, number one, be careful on opening additional shops. That would be my first thing. Like focus on one shop. Don't go off and go, oh, I got another idea. Let me do another shop and let me do another idea. I got another shop. Try to just stay focused. That's number one. Number two, if you do open a second shop, make sure that you're going in there and you're making sure that all of your stuff is paid. Because $7, yes, that's right. $7 is the reason why this shop was suspended. And he lost out on Q4 sales, all because of $7. So like his recommendations was go check your accounts. If you don't or if you have more than one account, check your accounts right now to see if you have any outstanding balances, because it just could be a matter of time that you get suspended. You know, that shop, he said, was over 2 years old. He hadn't went back to it in forever. Why did they decide to go and do, to go ahead and do a look now and then suspend all accounts? How do all of the accounts get attached to one account? That's what I don't understand. They should be independent of each other. And then from there, you can say, okay, let's start looking at the other shops. Chris, what'd you want to say?
I think I can explain how this happens, right? And it makes sense. And he even said it in the video. So he said they were all associated with his business name, and that's why it didn't happen to his friend who had different accounts. And as someone who's worked at tech companies, the conversation with their engineering team probably went something like this. Hey guys, what we've noticed is there's a bunch of people creating a bunch of accounts and they're leaving them with balances open. We don't want people to be able to exploit that loophole. We don't want to lose money because scammers are creating all of these accounts, right? Something to that effect. And the engineers went, cool, here's a way we can tie all of those together where if one account has a negative balance, we can just shut down all of their accounts. From a purely logical standpoint, Scott, that makes sense, right? When you tell an engineer, this is what we need, that is what you get. The problem that appears to have happened here is that they didn't have the follow-up conversation or the follow-up thought process of, well, what happens if one of those accounts is making us a buttload of money, right? And so for $7, they lost tens of thousands of dollars in fees, in revenue, in advertising money, if not $100,000 or even more, because there was no logic applied to the situation. And there's a couple different ways a lot of other companies handle this. And I wish that Etsy would learn some of these lessons, which is why we're talking about this. First would be having somebody you can reach out to. Scott, we are not big enough on YouTube at this point that we have like a channel account person, but at some point you get to that size, right? And if you have an issue with somebody flagging your video on YouTube as violating copyright infringement, instead of going through the manual appeal process, you just reach out to your account rep and you say, hey, clearly not, like it's Chris and I standing here having a conversation, right? It's clearly not copyright infringement unless somebody copyrighted Chris's image, which would be terrifying for them. And that's how a lot of other people handle this. But the other one would be, hey, maybe send him an email and say, you have this account balance. Or since you know that they are related and it sounded like they had the same banking info, just deduct $7 from his bank account that's attached to it. Like, he has other accounts that clearly have valid payment methods. So since you know that they are connected because it's the same EIN from the sound of it, it's the same, personal information, either do that or send him a bunch of emails that say, hey, your account is at risk of being shut down if you don't do this. Since you know the accounts are related and you're going to shut them down anyway, put a giant banner when he logs into the account that's making money to say, hey, you have another account that owes us money. Go correct the payment information. If you're worried about the legal implications of, taking money from this account or whatever, like, I don't know, use all of this capability that you have to notify the seller because he didn't even remember he had created the account, right? So maybe just say, hey, check one of your old accounts. Click here to see the login information since we know that it's related, or, send him some emails with that same information, give him a heads up. And instead, Scott, what they did was they just shut everything down. For a 30-second solution, they then lost 2 weeks worth of revenue, right? From somebody who's doing several $100,000 a year. I don't know about you, but the listing fees alone were more than the $7.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't include the rest of the 12% that they end up taking when we account for the different fees. That's well more than the $7 that he was owed. So maybe let's spend a couple cents to notify the guy so that we can avoid this in the future. And if it's truly like the scammer spammer situation, then maybe that's a different story. But give people a chance here. And if you're not, then you're just lighting money on fire too. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's what we can do. Okay. We're doing, these videos to bring awareness and bring attention to people like this, right? That were suspended, that were banned. Especially this here is like so legit. It's like exactly what Etsy wants. They want handmade, right? Like, yes, they will let us do print on demand and they'll let us do other types of items now, but like digital products, but they were built on the backs of handmade. And this is as handmade as it gets, in my opinion, because it is done by a machine that does stitch. It's done there locally inside of his own shop. He's right there with the machines back of him. And he's creating these dog collars, from scratch. So you would think that a shop like that, they would really want to have a dedicated person, or a dedicated person that they could actually discuss things with, to help Etsy not lose money, because that's what Etsy's doing. They're losing money too by not allowing this, this seller to continue. So let's do this. Make sure that you like this video, you comment on this video, whether you want to have a comment about the, about the video that we just shared. If it's about your own story, your own experience, let us know in the comments. Like this video, and this way here, maybe we can get heard and allow these stories to be shown. So this way here, we can have someone maybe on the Etsy team see it and bring it to the board. That's what we need as Etsy sellers. So that's what you can do. You can help yourself, but you can also help others that are selling on the platform by just doing those simple steps. So once again, I'm going to reach out to Vlad, and hopefully he's watching this, or he's watched this video, and maybe we can get him on here and we can get even more on that story. So that's what you need to do to get heard here, guys. Just like the video, comment, and let's do this together as a community.